In this video we'll be taking a look at some of the best armor and weapon mods to ever be released. First up on our list is Sentinel, a comprehensive pack of armor and weapons that was just recently released. Sentinel is a transformative overhaul of the game's equipment system. It's designed to diversify the range of armors and weapons found in and around Skyrim. The mod seamlessly integrates new variations of standard in-game items. For example, the Dragonborn might come across an iron helmet, however with Sentinel's integration, the same iron helmet could also be a northern iron helmet or a rugged iron helmet. It's essential to note that these variations are purely aesthetic. They maintain the original item stats, crafting methods, and locations. The intent is to merely offer more variety in your equipment. That being said, Sentinel's repertoire is massive, encompassing creations from some of the most talented mod authors. Notably, it features numerous armors from Nordwar UA, including sets from Sons of Skyrim, which completely overhauls the attire of guards and stormcloaks around Skyrim, so each hold gets their own unique armor set. The mod also integrates pieces from racial armor variants, which introduces more unique armors for the orcs and elves, and selections from unplayable faction armors. This means that underdeveloped factions like the Silver Hand now boast distinct armor sets, as well as the Vigilance of Stendarr, who are now adorned in gear befitting the paladins they represent. The mod also adds a variety of new weapons to match the armors, like the Stormcloak officer weapons for the highest level of the faction, and the Northern Iron weapons to go with the new Iron Armor variants. All in all, this is a massive mod that overhauls the equipment you can find around Skyrim. If you're still using immersive armors, this may be the perfect replacement that's on a similar scale. Now next we have a mod that I was initially hesitant to include, but it really is impossible to overlook. We have Full Anu's Armor Pack 1. For those of you who are fans of the From Software games, this one will certainly be a treat. It brings to Skyrim a collection of armors ported from titles like Sekiro, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3. The armors themselves look very cool, and I think they fit surprisingly well into Skyrim. What's even more impressive is that all these armors come with full physics for elements like cloaks and hair, making them look even better. Among the various armors in the pack, there's one that really stands out and has quickly become my personal favourite, which is the Millwood Knight Armor, which was ported from Dark Souls 3. The armor is available in two distinct variants, the version that the player can wear in Dark Souls 3, and the version donned by certain enemies in the game. The intricate design coupled with its cloaks and furs to resist the cold, make it fit right into Skyrim. Moving on, let's talk about another amazing armor, being the Kynreeve Armor set. This mod actually released quite a while ago back in 2018, but still stands as one of the best sets out there. It's the perfect sleek Daedric armor to fit both mages and warriors. The armor is equivalent to Daedric armor in strength, and comes in both light and heavy versions, but also comes with several helmet variants. You can opt for a simple hood, a combination of a hood and a helmet, or choose to forego the hood entirely. And when you install this mod, you've got two options. You can make it replace the usual Daedric armor, so all the Dwemer in game wear it, or if you prefer, you can have it as its own separate armor. If you choose the separate version, there's a new challenge waiting for you. To obtain the armor, you must confront and defeat a pair of Dwemer Kynreeve. The two can be located on the eastern side of the Sky Temple Ruins Island, and it's worth noting that these Kynreeve are level 30, making this encounter a challenge best suited for seasoned adventurers. Now we're going to move on to overhauling the look of the vanilla weapons. To do so, I use Believable Weapons. As the name suggests, this mod is about enhancing the realism and practicality of the game's original weapon designs. For instance, swords have been refined to be thinner and more pointed, instead of looking like they're used for LARPing. The mod also takes a look at the game's hammers, which in their original design can appear cartoonishly oversized. With this mod, the hammers are resized to be a more manageable and realistic dimension, ensuring they still pack a punch without looking out of place. The axes haven't been left out either. Their redesign leads towards a more practical appearance. While the aim isn't to achieve absolute realism, the mod ensures the weapons are, as the name suggests, more believable. However, especially for daggers, I use the fantastic JS Unique Utopia daggers, which is a complete remake of all the unique daggers in the game. That comes in 1K, 2K, and even 4K versions. The feature of this mod is that it takes the unique daggers that lack a special model and gives them completely new designs. Like Alessandra's dagger, which never really stood out, as in vanilla it's essentially just a renamed iron dagger. Or Valda's Lucky Dagger, which was previously just an enchanted steel dagger. For a mod in a similar vein to JS Unique daggers, we have Artefakes. In Skyrim there are over 70 uniquely named artifacts or special weapons that are merely just renamed versions of common items, like Windshear, which is technically the best sword in the game, or the Long Hammer, which is one of the best two-handed weapons in the game. These more underwhelming unique weapons get brand new models and textures to make them more appealing to use. And the mod doesn't discriminate. Even lesser known items like Rogi's Ancestral Shield and the Briarheart Gesh, a very niche weapon with a very unique enchantment, get fully unique models. Now to give our vanilla armors and weapons new textures, I use xavbio's textures. Since I covered this mod so recently, I won't go into extreme detail, but just know that the mod gives the armors and weapons high quality new textures, and even includes some add-ons, like how the Ancient Nord armor set now has the option for leg coverings. Additionally, for those of you who've encountered the Armors of the Old Gods set during the quest No One Escapes Sidna Mine, there's an optional white fur add-on. It's these little touches that make xavbio's retextures stand out. For a standalone weapon, Radzig's Longsword, also by John Skyrim, is likely my favourite sword on the Nexus. The mod adds in Sir Radzig's sword, which is actually from the game Kingdom Come Deliverance. It comes with both a one-handed and two-handed version, and I think it fits perfectly into Skyrim as the perfect sword for a knight or wealthy mercenary. And for a mod for the archers, the Penobscot Warbow is fantastic. This mod adds a new double limb bow that features high quality new models and textures that can be crafted and upgraded in several steps, changing both its appearance and stats. Initially, the bow starts out slightly weaker than an orcish bow, but as you upgrade it with progressively rarer and more expensive materials, your bow becomes more powerful and changes in appearance. Once fully upgraded, it's as powerful as a Daedric bow, and you have the choice between 3 different colour schemes, meaning just a plain wooden brown, a black painted version, and a leafy green painted version. Moving on, let's look at my favourite armour that isn't available on the Nexus, with the Dragon Gladiator armour. This armour is great for a late game warrior type character, as it's slightly better than Dragonplate armour. To obtain the armour, you merely have to craft it at a forge. The mod also comes with its own sword and shield to round out the set, so if you're on the lookout for a solid armour set with a bit of flair, the Dragon Gladiator armour is definitely worth checking out. Shifting gears a bit, let's spotlight not just a mod, but a mod author. Fourth Unknown has consistently delivered some of the most impressive armor mods on the Nexus, and now we'll look at some of their standout creations. First up is the Mythic Dawn armor. For those of you who played Oblivion, this armor will definitely invoke a sense of nostalgia. Fourth Unknown has masterfully reimagined this classic armor in Skyrim, ensuring it retains its iconic look while benefiting from modern design enhancements. It's available in both light and heavy versions, and even comes with a one-handed mace to pair with the new armor. Next we have the Dwemer Armor. Dwarven lore is deeply embedded in Skyrim's history, and the mod adds another layer to it, introducing a new Dwarven themed set. This heavy armor can be discovered within Dwarven ruins, and I think its design seamlessly integrates with the game's aesthetic, making it feel like a genuine part of Skyrim. Lastly, from Fourth Unknown, we'll look at the Infantry Armor. Ideal for those just starting out their adventures in Skyrim, this mod offers both light and heavy versions of the set, accompanied by a new one-handed sword. Your Dragonborn can simply craft the armor at a forge, or encounter NPCs donning the armor on the road leading to Hammerfell. So for those of you keen on enhancing their Skyrim with top tier armor mods, I'd highly recommend browsing through Fourth Unknown's Nexus profile. And that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to endorse the mod you enjoy.